Coming up on this week's edition of Wildcat Weekly, Standard Mealtime, the dance team, and a retiring teacher. All this and more coming up next. Hi, welcome to this week's edition of Wildcat Weekly. I'm your host, Cameron Evans. The Nequa dance team has seen a large jump in numbers this year. Ansley and Ashley have more on the story.
With one of the largest JV and varsity teams this program has ever seen, the Nequa dance team is learning how to adjust to this rapid growth.
Between the JV and varsity team, we have 42 people total. On Wednesdays, we do technique with JV and varsity, which is like practicing our skills and working together to help each team improve, because varsity can always get critiques from JV and JV can always get critiques from varsity.
The dance team is putting an emphasis on coming together as one program this year in order to bond.
Team dynamic, especially for, I wouldn't even say it's a team dynamic, I would say it's a program dynamic, because these girls are very close, and seeing how close 42 girls can be has been such a blessing to all of our coaching staff.
The past 2 years, we've really focused on bonding JV and varsity, because in years prior, we've kind of been distant from each other. So our goal these past 2 years have been to get close and like bond during competition season and even during prior football season.
Good luck to the dance team as they enter their competition season. And for Wildcat Weekly, along with Ashley Perino, I'm Ansley Carlson.
Between facts and child development, Mrs. Novi Sad does it all. Abdul takes a look into her last year at Nequa.
At the end of the school year, Ms. Novi Sad will be retiring, marking 20 years at Nequa.
Actually, I student taught at Nequa the first year it opened, so I was here the second half of the first year that Nequa opened student teaching. I had been in the corporate world before this, and I went back to school. The professor called me a retread. Went back to school and had the opportunity to student teacher to get the school opened.
In her 20 years at Nequa, Ms. Novi Sad has had a great impact on her students.
Miss Novi Sad has a very warm and kind-hearted personality. She makes the classroom kind of feel like home. She's very welcoming, whether you're a freshman or a senior at the main building. She's just able to relate to the kids really well.
I think I'll miss most how she like brightens up the room with like a great positive attitude. Also how she like changes my views on teaching to like a positive, like creative way. And she also helped me like understand like the meanings of teaching and how I wanted to pursue it in my future career.
Over the years, Ms. Novi Sad has made memories she'll never forget, and those will be missed.
First of all, the students, they just bring me such joy on a daily basis, whether it's the preschoolers, the high school students, and of course the tremendous staff and camaraderie of the staff. The whole school spirit, it's just a pleasure to come to work here every day. Everybody's so committed to what they do. I'll miss that.
Thank you for your 20 years in Nequa, Ms. Novi Sad, and good luck after retirement. And for Wildcat Weekly, I'm Abdul Jiro.
PE leaders have to set a good example for younger students. Hank takes a bigger look into this opportunity.
Senior PE leaders help run your freshman and sophomore physical education classes. These students train their whole junior year to prepare. This year-long class is called Junior PE Leaders.
The Junior Senior PE Leaders program is a 2-year program. Junior year, they work on team building and getting to know each other, and then they write lesson plans and they teach the class. They do officiating. It's all about really just stepping out of their comfort zone, getting up in front of a group of people and really taking charge. So sophomores can apply at the end of their sophomore year to be a part of the program. They need to fill out an application, and they have to have 2 teachers, PE, driver ed, or health teachers, recommend them for the program. You want to make sure that you pick teachers that know you really well and know your abilities to get up and take initiative and to lead a class.
If you are deciding whether or not to apply, your current junior PE leaders want to tell you why you should.
The favorite thing about PE leaders is probably, becoming really close to the other PE leaders, trying to improve my leadership skills and ultimately, become like a good leader, role model for all the people next year, for all the freshmen and for sophomore dance.
I like how junior PE leaders is a student-run class, basically, so we each get the opportunity to lead our own warm-ups and come up with new ideas.
This is not only a great opportunity to increase your own leadership skills, but to inspire someone else to work on their own. For Wildcat Weekly, I'm Hank Pelter.
There's a new restaurant in Naperville owned by Aniqua alumni. Maddie and Riziki take a bite into the story.
India's BBQ Nation is a new restaurant located on 5019 Ace Lane in Naperville, across from Caputo's. What many people don't know is that it is owned by a former Wildcat from the class of 2017. Nishjay Poti is bringing a little piece of India to Naperville.
So this particular business itself actually is it's a new concept in India. It's a very rapidly growing concept as well. Everyone in India likes it, and so I thought, why not shift it over to Naperville, where there's a very high percentage of Indians. Yeah, there's definitely pressure being that I'm only 18, and like all the employees are like 20s, 30s, 40s or above, and they all have to report to me at the end of the day. So always some pressure to perform well, make the right decision at the end of the day, but at the end of the day, it's just my experience, my knowledge.
Even though Nishjay faces some pressure running a restaurant at only 18 years old, he still encourages fellow Wildcats to go after their goals.
For advice, there's a lot of things I would say, but if I had to pick one thing in general, it's make sure you're very educated in the decision you're making. Make sure you do your research well beforehand. Study up on everything, what works, what doesn't, so that way you have justification for every decision you make.
Make sure to support a fellow Wildcat and visit India's BBQ Nation. And for Wildcat Weekly, along with Maddie Sheely, I'm Riziki Covington.
Chris heads downtown Naperville for another edition of Standard Mealtime.
Empire Burgers and Brew is located at 48 West Chicago Avenue in downtown Naperville, across the street from Sullivan Steakhouse. Since opening last July, Empire has quickly become a popular spot for a gourmet burger in the Naperville area. A few friends and I had the chance to try some of their unique burgers and a specialty dessert.
So what I got was the Big Dipper. We have a grilled tomato, some caramelized onions, and a fresh block of mozzarella cheese. It comes with a side of dipping gravy. I'm going to hold off on that for now. It is very good.
So what we have right here is the Heisman burger. So we have some caramelized mushrooms, some green stuff, and cheese. Yeah, no, it's good. It's definitely good.
So what we got here is a fried donut surrounded in some cinnamon sugar. I don't really know what this sauce is, but it's good. It's pretty delicious. It tops off the cinnamon sugar well.
Empire is definitely a place you should try if you haven't already. And for Wildcat Weekly, I'm Chris Bagayski.
Thanks for watching this week's edition of Wildcat Weekly. Have a wonderful weekend, Wildcats.